History rarely changes all at once. It changes beneath the surface. Long before people recognize a revolution, its architecture is already taking shape. The Industrial Revolution did not begin when factories appeared. It began when new systems changed how civilization produced value. The Internet Revolution did not begin when the first website went online. It began when information became instantly connected. Artificial intelligence follows the same pattern. Most people see new applications, new chatbots, new software, new robots. Architects see something else, a new operating layer quietly forming beneath modern civilization, one that does not simply process information, but continuously learns from it. The greatest transformation is often invisible at the beginning, because architecture always changes before society does.
Civilizations have always invested in intelligence. Schools create it, universities refine it, research laboratories expand it, businesses monetize it, governments depend upon it. But intelligence has always shared one limitation. It remained locked inside individuals. Knowledge disappeared with retirement. Experience disappeared with generations. Every organization was forced to learn the same lessons again, and again. Artificial intelligence changes that architecture. Knowledge no longer exists only inside people. It begins accumulating inside systems. Learning becomes continuous. Memory becomes permanent. Experience becomes scalable. For the first time, civilization is beginning to build intelligence that compounds instead of disappearing.
Most assets become weaker with time. Machines wear out. Buildings decay. Products become obsolete. Even human memory slowly fades. Intelligence follows a different rule. When it can learn continuously, it compounds. Every solved problem becomes the foundation for solving the next. Every successful prediction improves the next prediction. Every decision strengthens future decisions. The architecture becomes more capable simply because it continues operating. This is why artificial intelligence represents more than automation. It introduces compounding intelligence into the fabric of civilization. And compounding systems have always changed history, because what compounds quietly eventually transforms everything around it. Most people will never see the architecture. They will only experience the outcome. Traffic moves more efficiently. Deliveries arrive faster. Power grids balance themselves. Factories predict failures before they happen. Hospitals detect diseases earlier. Financial systems identify risks in real time. The visible improvements appear unrelated, but beneath them, one invisible layer connects everything. Artificial intelligence is gradually becoming the operating layer of modern civilization, not replacing existing infrastructure, enhancing it, quietly, continuously, system by system, until intelligence becomes as ordinary and as essential as electricity once did.
Technology has always helped people perform individual tasks. Artificial intelligence is beginning to coordinate entire systems. That distinction changes everything. A factory is no longer optimized in isolation. It communicates with suppliers. Suppliers communicate with logistics. Logistics communicate with ports. Ports communicate with global demand. Financial systems adjust capital. Energy networks balance consumption. every layer begins responding to every other layer. Artificial intelligence is no longer acting as a tool inside the system. It is becoming the intelligence between systems. Invisible, continuous, always learning. The future will not be defined by smarter machines. It will be defined by smarter coordination. Until intelligence becomes as ordinary and as essential as electricity once did.
For decades, software followed instructions. Every action required a command. Every outcome depended upon predefined rules. Artificial intelligence introduces a different architecture. Instead of following every instruction, it begins pursuing objectives. It evaluates possibilities, learns from outcomes, adjusts its approach, and improves with every cycle. The software itself begins participating in the decision process, not replacing human judgment, strengthening it. This marks the beginning of a new relationship between humans and machines, one no longer defined by command, but by collaboration. Every organization is built from decisions, thousands of them, every single day. Most are repetitive, some are strategic. Artificial intelligence is beginning to absorb the repetitive, leaving humans to focus on the exceptional. This does not reduce the importance of people, it increases it. Because when routine decisions become autonomous, human attention becomes available for creativity, for leadership, for invention, for architecture. The organizations that thrive will not be those replacing people with artificial intelligence. They will be those redesigning work so that every form of intelligence contributes where it creates the greatest value. Every system is designed to produce a result. Factories produce products. Financial systems produce capital. Educational systems produce knowledge. Artificial intelligence introduces something entirely different. Systems that improve while producing results. Every interaction becomes feedback. Every feedback becomes learning. Every lesson strengthens the architecture. The system no longer waits for the next upgrade. It evolves while it operates. Quietly, continuously, almost invisibly. This changes the nature of progress itself. For centuries, improvement arrived in generations. Tomorrow, improvement may arrive every second. The organizations that adopt once a year will compete against architectures that adopt millions of times each day. The advantage will no longer belong to the fastest organization. It will belong to the fastest learning system. Every civilization is remembered by the system that multiplied human capability. Agriculture multiplied survival. Industry multiplied production. Electricity multiplied productivity. The internet multiplied information. Artificial intelligence is beginning to multiply intelligence itself. Not inside one computer, not inside one company, but across civilization. Every hospital becomes more capable. Every factory becomes more precise. Every supply chain becomes more adaptive. Every scientific discovery accelerates the next. The visible world will appear familiar. Cities will still stand. Businesses will still compete. People will still create. But beneath everything, an invisible intelligence layer will quietly coordinate a world growing too complex for human cognition alone. History will remember this moment, not as the age of artificial intelligence, but as the moment civilization learned how to continuously learn. Most people ask,
Will artificial intelligence replace us? Architects ask a different question. What becomes possible when intelligence itself becomes infrastructure? That single question transforms the entire conversation. Artificial intelligence is no longer the destination. It is another layer in the architecture of civilization. The real opportunity is not building smarter machines. It is designing smarter systems. Systems where human creativity, machine intelligence, digital infrastructure, and autonomous coordination strengthen one another without end. Because products eventually become obsolete, technologies eventually evolve, even industries eventually change. But architecture compounds across generations. And those who understand architecture rarely spend their lives chasing the future. They spend their lives designing it.
The future is rarely built by the technologies that attract the most attention. It is built by the architectures that quietly become indispensable. Artificial intelligence is only one chapter in a much larger story. A story about how civilization learns, how systems evolve, and how intelligence becomes woven into the foundations of everyday life. At Asutsen, we do not simply follow technological change. We explore the invisible architectures that make change possible. Because when you learn to see systems instead of headlines, you stop asking what will happen next. You begin understanding why it must happen. And once you understand the architecture, the future no longer feels uncertain. It becomes something you can begin to design. Welcome to Asutsen, architecting wealth, automating future.